everyone, welcome to Bioscient once again. In my previous lecture, I have started a topic that's animal kingdom. And I have told you briefly about the animal kingdom. But before studying animal kingdom in details, there are certain prerequisites for that. If you know the basis, then it would be very easy for you to memorize or understand the animal kingdom, and it will be very simple for you. So now I have come with this technique where you just need to know the terminology and you will be applying this on your studies, and it would be very easy for you to learn about the animal kingdom. So animal kingdom, once again we will be discussing the basis. What are we getting from here? The basis on which animals are classified. Animals are classified. It would be very important to know the terminology. Basis on which animals are classified. So, the first thing which I am going to tell you about the basis of classification for especially animal, the first thing you should know is the level of organization. Level of organization. It's very important to know that whether the animal is made up of cell or tissue or organ system. So this could be one of the important basis, that is level of organization, whether the organism is cellular or it is tissue level or it is organ level or organ system level. I hope you are getting it. This is one of the bases. Now the second basis which you should know is the symmetry. What do you understand by this term symmetry? Symmetry is like if an organism will be able to be dissected on any plane, then along the diameter it could be called as the radially symmetrical. If it is on only two axes, it will be the biradial symmetry. And if it is just one plane which is dissecting the organism into two equal halves, then we will call it lateral symmetry. But it is not important that all the organisms are symmetrical. So it could be one of the reasons that some organisms are asymmetrical, means not even in one plane they are symmetrical. If they are symmetrical, then it could be radially symmetrical, biradially symmetrical, radial symmetry, and the bilateral symmetry. I would love to know from you some of the organisms which are bilateral symmetrical and some examples of the radial symmetry. Of course, I will be dealing it later on. Then comes the coelom. This might sound a difficult term for you. I will make it easier for you. So, the coelom is nothing but the body cavity. Body cavity. How would you understand that an organism is true coelomate? If there will be the body ball and the alimentary canal, the area in between, which is actually where the organs are situated, that we call it the true coelom. So, even some organism might not be coelomate, so we will classify them as acoelomate. There is no coelom at all. Sometimes you might see that it may appear like coelom, but it is not coelom, then we call it pseudocoelomate. Pseudocoelomate. And the organism which have a true coelom, they will be called as coelomate. Now, the coelomate are of further two types. One is called a schizocoelomate, and the another one is called enterocoelomate. If you want to know details about this, you just ping me. I will just let you know what are these terminologies, schizocoelomate and the enterocoelomate. Now, I have got one another term called body plan. Body plan. What does that mean? Which kind of arrangement is there in that organism? So, the body plan could be cell aggregate body plan. They are just a group of cells. Cell aggregate body plan. There are some organisms which have just a single opening in their body, like coelentrates. They are having blind sac body plan. Blind sac body plan. And the most common now is the tube within tube body plan. Tube within the tube body plan, which in human having two openings, the mouth and the anus. Tube within the tube body plan. I hope you are getting this. Now we have the next one is the germ layer. Germ layer. During embryonic development, if the two germ layer are prominent, that is the endoderm and the ectoderm, and in between there is not a mesoderm, rather the patches of tissues that's called mesoglia, then those organisms will be termed as diploblastic. Diploblastic, which means they have endoderm, ectoderm, and in between what can be seen? Mesoglia, not the mesoderm. Whereas the another type of organism are termed as triploblastic. Then they will have a prominent endoderm, mesoderm, and of course ectoderm. Later on you will be studying how these layers forms different tissues in human beings as well in the tissue chapter. This is not it. Can you tell me the another basis of classification? Of course, we have got segmentation. Segmentation, which is also called as metamerism. Metamerism. The segments, each segment is called metameres. So, if the organism have segment, then they will be called as segmented. If they do not have, they are unsegmented and the segmented. Two category which will help you to differentiate between the organisms. The another one is circulatory system. Circulatory system. Circulatory system could be of open type. When the blood bathes all the organs, the blood is not flowing in the blood vessels, and if it is closed type, the blood will be flowing in the vessels. Then what else? Till now what have we studied? The level of organization can be one of the bases. The organism is either cellular, tissue, or organ system level. Then we have got symmetry. Some organisms are asymmetrical, some are symmetrical. They might be radially symmetrical or bilaterally symmetrical. Then we have got coelom or the body cavity. Some of the organisms are acoelomate. There is no coelom present in them. Some are pseudocoelomate, some are true coelomate, and the body plan is one of the bases where the organism can be either having the cell aggregate body plan, or they have blind sac body plan, or they have the tube within the tube body plan. Then we have got germ layer. It can be diploblastic or triploblastic. Diploblastic means what? They have endoderm and ectoderm. In between they have mesoglia, whereas in triploblastic there will be endoderm, mesoderm and ectoderm. Segmentation is one of the another criteria to classify organism. So segmentation, if they are segmented, of course they will be called as the segmented, and they do not have, then they are unsegmented. Now the circulatory system can be of open type or the closed type. Just tell me the tube within the tube body plan. There is a question for you. The tube within the tube body plan, where there will be two opening in the body, the mouth and the anus. Do you know that on the basis of this, if the mouth develops first, they will be called as protostomia, and if the anus develops first, then they are called as deuterostomia. This is very, very important term. That's why I came back here to tell you that these are the two bases. Humans are deuterostomia, where anus develops first during embryonic development. Develops first, then mouth. Whereas here the mouth develops first. Okay, coming back to the basis of classification in animals, the another one, very, very important, is notochord. 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 So, if they have notochord, either they can have notochord present or absent. Okay. Later on, we will be studying that what is the role of notochord. Actually, this is one of the bases. Now, when we study chordata, all the vertebrates are chordates, but the chordates are not vertebrate. During embryonic development, there are nerve cord and the notochord, so which will be later replaced by the vertebral column. Then they become the vertebrata, and in some of them it is not replaced. Then they are vertebrates. Chordates will be classified into vertebrates. That's why we say that vertebrates are chordate, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Okay, then the development is one of the bases, whether they have the larval stage in between their development or not. So if it is their larval stage, we call it indirect development. If they do not have the larval stage, we call it direct development. Then fertilization could be external or internal. External or internal. Of course, the respiratory system, the circulatory system, the excretory system, they will be varying. That can be also one of the basis of classification. I'm not going to tell you that, because in some of the important terms which you come across when you study, it would be very easy if you will be asked that this organism is diploblastic, they are having blind sac body plan, they are not symmetrical. So these keywords you must know when you are studying animal kingdom. I hope this will help you for studying animal kingdom. That's all for today. Thank you so much for being patient listener.